You know, dying sucks, especially at a young age. I just turned 20. I remember when life wasn't so serious. Before the hospital stays, before the crying parents, before all of that, it was just video games and Fortnite. My name's Noah, and I don't have long to live. The doctors say maybe I can get 2 years at best. So if anything, that makes me want to live life to its fullest. And to me, a big part of that is playing video games. And before I die, I want to leave my mark on Fortnite, and hopefully be remembered for a long time. My friend Jackson and I play a ton of Fortnite competitively. We've gotten really good. We played in a number of cups, and we're going to play in the Fortnite World Cup as a duos team. Jackson was browsing the list of tournaments, and he found something called the Soul Tournament. He told me to look at it. I found it. It looked ominous and downright creepy, but what really caught our eye was that it wasn't offering a cash prize. Instead it said, "Win back your soul." As I said earlier, I was dying. This could be a sign. It could be a higher power trying to help me. We researched Soul Tournament on Google. Nothing came up. Everything was covering the World Cup. I clicked on the event details in the game, and my jaw dropped. It said this tournament was only open to those who have a terminal illness, and their one friend, for competition purposes. Only those with a need for the Soul Tournament will see the Soul Tournament. Winner of this tournament gets their soul cleansed, and with it, their terminal illness cured. You know, when you're circling the drain like I am, you don't want to believe this is fake. I mean, after all, I see it right in front of my face. The tournament would last for 3 days. It consisted of 1 day of open play, the next day of semis, and the day after was the finals. There could be only one winner, and the winner would lose their terminal illness for good. It was a duos tournament. It didn't start until this coming Friday, so we had a few days to practice. It let us actually enroll in the tournament right now to save our place. When we enrolled, we couldn't help shake the feeling that we were being watched. Not to mention, our Fortnite games would be filled with bugs. One warm-up game we played, we even saw Moisty Mire back in the map again, except all the trees were on fire, almost as if this map was in hell itself. The day before the tournament, I heard a loud knock on my door. When I answered the door, there was no one there except a box. It had Soul Tournament written on it. I opened the box, and it had a letter thanking me for entering the tournament and to remind me that the tournament will be starting tomorrow. Behind the letter was a wristband. It had instructions on it. I was supposed to wear the wristband during the tournament. It would keep track of our souls and would cure me if I won. I contacted Jackson, and he received the box as well. I was having mixed feelings about this. I hope I win, and I hope this tournament does cure me of my illness. But I still can't shake the odd stuff that's been happening. But either way, the tournament starts tomorrow. Jackson and I are ready. I just hope the Soul Tournament is ready for us. The day was finally here, the open phase of the Soul Tournament. Jackson and I were well prepared and ready. We prepared for anything because this wasn't like the normal cups or tournaments. We didn't know the full rules. We didn't know how many matches we had or were limited to in the open phase, let alone in semis or the finals. Jackson and myself log onto Fortnite, and we see that the Soul Tournament was live. We go to click on it. It won't let us. After struggling for a few moments, Jackson realizes we don't have our wristbands on. The wristband would cure me if I'd won, and the wristband was our ticket in. We put our wristbands on. The wristband was like a smartwatch. It had a screen on it. We tried to turn them on after we put them on our wrist, but nothing. We both clicked Soul Tournament, and then we were able to go through. When it brought us to the Soul Tournament lobby, the screen on our wristbands turned on. With that, we felt a prick. Under the monitor, it was taking our blood. It felt like a large needle, and it stung. We look up to our screens, and it finally explains the full rules. There would be only 3 rounds of open play. Only 3 games. 3 tries. Even worse, semis only consisted of 400 players. Each kill was worth 1 soul point. Top 10 was worth 3 soul points, and winning was worth 5. If the wristband had an X on it, we were out. If we had a check mark, we knew we advanced to the semifinals. We understood what was at stake. We didn't want to know what the wristband would do to us if we lost. We took a few moments and we started it up. We landed Viking the first round. I got a kill. Jackson got 2. The final person there tried to evade us, but Jackson killed him as well. We managed to place top 10 and got an extra 3 points. All in all that round, we got 7 points. The next round, we decided to take a huge risk and drop Tilted. It paid off. I got 4 kills. Jackson got 3. We were set up and the loot we had was amazing. We rode the outer circle all game. We ended up winning that game as well. Placing top 10 and winning the game is stackable, so we walked away with 8 points for just placing 10th and winning. Overall combined, the kills we got were 10. We walked away with a whopping 18 points that round alone. The final round we decided to play slow and land Fatal Fields. Only 1 team landed there and we won out. It was a slow match and we only got 2 other kills before being eliminated at place 8. Overall, throughout the 3 open placement matches, we got 32 points combined. Hopefully, that was enough. We played some more matches that day to get ready for the semis that we hoped that we got into. When the Soul Tournament open round was closed, we felt the needle stab even further into us, hitting our bone. Then a checkmark appeared. We made it to the semi-finals. We placed high 300s. We barely made it, but we made it. Semi-finals start tomorrow. It was an uphill battle, but the first stage was done. I then receive an anonymous text message on my phone. It read, "I've been watching you. Congrats on getting past openers. I hope you win. We'll see you soon." Semi-finals, here we come. We woke up. Today was the semi-finals. Just what was about to happen? My wristband began to beep. It said, "Semi-final round" displayed on it. I've gotten used to the wristband being on me for the tournament. It doesn't hurt anymore. Jackson and I get on Fortnite and we start to warm up. Like last time, we wouldn't know the official rules of the semi-finals until it was time. There was a countdown on our wristbands that had started. When the wristband hit 0, it took us out of the match that we were warming up in and put us in a pre-game lobby for the semi-final. That was a cool feature. It didn't do that in the last open round that we had yesterday. We began to read the rules aloud. This was totally different than before. It was crazy. This wasn't tournament style at all. It was just one big game. There would be 4 matches of 100 players going all at it at once, since semis consisted of 400 people. It all made sense why the wristband forced us into the semi-finals. Everyone had to be here. In order to advance, you had to be the last 25 alive. That was it. Then the last 25 from the other 3 teams would round out the finale of 100 people. This was a duo, so that meant the 25th player of each game would be a solo person heading into the finale. There would be 2 wildcard teams at best. We didn't have time, it was just one game, and if we didn't cut 25, we were out. One thing was for sure, we wanted to stay away from high traffic areas and play the storm to our advantage. We see that Haunted Hills is the furthest point away from us at the battle bus route. We decide to jump there and it's a long glide. We were shocked when we finally saw a team coming with us from this far away. I mean, it's not like we had another shot at this. If we died before 25 players, it was over. Jackson and I would find guns easily when we landed on the ground. We had a bit of luck too. We saw that the 2 who also landed with us landed in the big mausoleum. We rushed them and got the upper hand. I started thinking about the people that we just killed would surely die now in real life too, because they can't be cured. I had to brush off those feelings I was having or else I would lose. We kept on riding the circle. Before we knew it, there were 30 people left. We got into a fight near Dusty Divot. It was insane. People were building insane structures too and staying mountainside. People were just popping shots left and right and running. It was too close to die now, and we were getting rushed. Luckily for us, another team sniped them and weakened them so that we could one-pump them each. We looked, there were 27 people left. That's when the team that was sniping us glided in. Another team was also rushing us from behind. Jackson knows we're about to be eliminated just shy of 25, and he doesn't have a disease that needs to be cured, so he does the one thing he thinks he can do. He drops a rift to go and tells me to get out of here. He uses his newly opened slot to pick up an RPG from the dead duo's team. I take the rift and get out of there. Jackson spams RPGs. As he's getting pinched, he downs someone, but then he himself goes down. I asked him over the mic why he sacrificed himself and made me rift out. He told me so no one would follow me in the rift. I placed 25th exactly and I was killed. Things didn't go as planned. Jackson was out and I'd have a random as my duo's partner for the finale. Jackson told me his wristband had an X on it now, and it felt like something was being released into his body. His mic cut out and he left the game. I receive another text from the same number that congratulated me last night for winning openers. This text read, "Well, it's fate. We're partners. I'll invite you soon." Just what happened to Jackson, and who is this new partner of mine, and how did he get my number before the semifinals? Can I even win the Soul Tournament now?
Well, this is it. The finals. Things did not go as planned. I received a friend request from the mystery person who is now my dubs partner. We played a few warm-up matches. His name was Gavin, and he was a pretty chill guy. Like me, he has a terminal illness that cannot be cured unless he wins this tournament. Needless to say, we're both very motivated to win. I heard the news on Jackson. He was found dead. The crazy part? He didn't have his wristband on. Someone took it and covered it up. Things were getting darker and more sinister by the moment, and by the end of today, it would all be over. I told Gavin what happened. He told me he didn't want to tell me this, but the same thing happened to his friend, who also was his dubs partner. He told me to look up some things, and I did. Everyone who lost the tournament died, more than likely by being poisoned by the wristband. Everyone who died had had theirs removed. This was a crazy conspiracy. The wristband pulled us from our warm-up games like the semifinals and put us into the final lobby. The rules were on the screen for us to read for this final match. It read, 1 match, 1 life, no reboot vans. If you die here, you are eliminated from the tournament. Give it all you got. The pregame lobby had a countdown. It was 5 minutes long. I had time to think and Gavin and I talked. We assumed that if we died here, the wristband would kill us. But for what reason? For what goal? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We were on the battle bus. We talked about where to land in the 5-minute pregame lobby, but it seemed that everyone wanted to win, so everyone was spread out. I think we aren't the only ones who are putting together what those wristbands can do. We decide to land Fatal Fields. It was our best option and one of the last stops on the route. We land and we find that 2 dubs teams are also landing there. We loot up and we kill them. It had chat on to where we could hear them. I could hear them scream like something was being injected into them. We rode out the circles, just staying on the edge the whole game. It was a camp fest. The final circle before the mobile circles took over was already here, and there were still 10 people left. Gavin and I became separated. The storm came in and we had to move to the small circle that was very far away. Everyone was building and rushing. I was camping in a small house and I had a dubs team over me. When they moved directly over me, I shot with my Barrett and destroyed the floor, placed a trap, and built out. I'm sorry, you two. I ran and caught up to Gavin. From there, it was nothing but build wars. Someone sniped Gavin. He was down. There were 7 people left. It was slow motion as I saw the RPG finish him off. But if I won, he would live. The storm weeded out a ton of people. There were 3 people left, counting myself. I saw the final 2 people fighting and I knew this was a 1v1v1. I stayed at a distance with my sniper. I took an educated guess on who was the weaker opponent, and I sniped the one who had more health. I hit him for 150. The weaker person SMG'd him. This was it. Everything was riding on this moment. I place my jump pad. I glide in. He pumps me with a spaz. I have 20 health left. I start to build a big 1x1 and pop shots below. Each shot I land, my heart pumps faster and harder. He tried to make a run for it. He must have had no mats. I sniped him. I won. I won the Soul Tournament. Gavin, we won. Gavin. Oh no. It boots me to the main lobby, and it said I received a present from Epic Games. There was a note. It read, "Congratulations on being the lucky one to survive. As promised, you will be healed. You should feel something hitting your bloodstream. It's a special nanobot that eats all forms of cancer. In order to do something like this, materials were needed. Other people's souls were needed. Everyone died so that you could live. There was only meant to be one winner. If somehow you and Gavin both stayed alive and you both won, you would have been forced to 1v1 right then and right there." I went to the doctors today. They say it's a miracle. I was healthy and cured. This wasn't a miracle. How many people had to die so that I could live? I'll live for their memory, and for them to live through me. The Soul Tournament gave me my life back. But the cost? The cost was more than I could have ever imagined.